The 2010 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series exploded off the line in the deep sands of Florida, with defending champion Chris Borch mounting a last lap charge to get the lead. But he was pushed all the way down to the line by Taylor Kaiser. Can Kaiser turn the trick on Borch today?
Playing in the dirt, face full of mud, sacrificing flesh and blood. Playing in the dirt, digging in the ground. All I'm asking you, where you gonna be when it all goes down, 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 down.
All right, folks, Jason Wygant here, your host for Racer TV. And the 2010 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, calm before the storm here at Aonia Pass Motocross Park in Washington, Georgia. It's round 2 of our tour. Lots of things to see and do off of the racetrack on Vendors Row. And this is traditionally one of the biggest races of the year. We expect north of 1,500 different riders to compete. Not only our pros that we'll be covering on TV today, but in a variety of amateur classes. Also, we'll have our 4x4 and utility racers out here. So we have a lot to get to. Speaking of getting to it, let's get down to the pits with Krista Shaw with our top riders.
We're here with third place finisher from round 1, Adam McGill. Adam, there had been a lot of preseason buzz about your switch to Can-Am. You did pretty good at the last race. You led a lot of it, and you ended up third. Does it feel like a big relief to get that one out of the way?
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely feels really good to be able to come out of the first round with a podium. Yeah, there has been a lot of bugs and a lot of talk, especially through the off season. But I'm glad to be able to put the bike on the podium and let everybody know that the Can-Am can run up front. It is competitive and it can win.
All right, we're here with round 1 second place finisher Taylor Kaiser. Taylor, unfortunately, you weren't able to duplicate your race win from River Ranch last year. You did get a good, solid podium finish, so you still got to feel pretty confident going into today's race.
Yeah, I was able to reel Chris in at the end of the race, and I just kind of tried to play it slow at the first race and, laid back. Wasn't able to get by him in the last few miles, but, the track's great, looks great today. I mean, the weather's great. Yamaha's working good. I'm confident that we'll be able to go out there and get a win today.
All right, are you going to try to play it safe in the beginning today?
Nope, we're going to let her all hang out.
We're here with round 1 winner Chris Borch. Chris, you pretty much picked up where you left off last year. You got your 9th straight GNCC win in a row. Do you ever have the thought of having a perfect season?
Never. You never know in the GNCC. I mean, anything could happen. So we're just one race at a time and see where we end up. Came out to Florida, won that. So we're here in Georgia now. It's nice, a little cold, but track looks perfect, and just ready to go out and see what I got here.
Well, these are the guys lining up to try to end that Borch win streak, which, yes, dates back to last season, 9 in a row. There's Jared McClure on the National Guard Polaris. McGill, who we talked to earlier, and Kaiser also. And there's Borch himself. That's the rider everyone is gunning for. And don't forget also our 9-time GNCC champion, Bill Balance. He was in the hunt all day in Florida also. This is going to be a good one. And making it happen for the second race in a row, Don Ackerman, the man out of Illinois, grabs another check from MotorcycleUSA.com. He has the whole shot. They got those fuel-injected Yamahas firing fast off the line this year. And he's got a couple more of the Blue Machines right behind him as they head into the woods for the first time. Lots of lines to make passes out here. It looks like Balance, in fact, is the man who has moved into the lead on the not customary Bill Balance number 4. That guy was number 1 for basically an entire decade. That's going to take some adjusting this year to get used to Balance on the number 4, but no surprise to see him out front. He's always been a good starter. You see these guys sticking to that main race line right now, but plenty of room for passing on this track. That's what they've always said when we come here to Aonia Pass and the Maxxis General GNCC. Balance now pulling away a bit from Ackerman. Kaiser up to 3rd. And I believe that's Brian Cook that just went by on the KTM, and now Borch. Borch a little ground to make up. Making up ground, that's Chris Bithell on the Can-Am. He is hauling. Bithell never gets good starts, but when he's on, he can pass people at will and get to the front. Guy's already a little bit muddy out here. This is the lowlands, not as many elevation changes on this track as a lot of other GNCC courses. And of course, you combine that with that red Georgia clay, you can see what happens. Deep ruts, and the soil will get soft. Look at this move. Oh, Kaiser almost connected with Ackerman. Ackerman holds on. Then you got Jeff Pickens and now Cook challenging Pickens inside the top 5. And Boric just back there lurking, long racing. No worries if you're Boric back there at 6. That's actually a pretty good start for him. Here we are out of the motocross track. Balance, not afraid to bust out the big double. Same for Kaiser. Ackerman has now been passed. He's back to 3rd. Look at the man on the move. It's Bithell on the Warner Can-Am. He has passed a bunch of riders, and I believe he's up into the number 4 position already. And now he's already hunting down the top 2. There's Balance, there's Kaiser, and Chris Bithell on a roll. Moving to the front of that lead pack. You've still got Pickens and Boric. And now how quickly things change. Ackerman, who had the lead early, and now Cook. They got to make up a little bit of ground and not let those riders get away here toward the end of this first lap. But you got to feel good for this man, Bill Balance. Defending that title last year and actually was diagnosed with cancer, if you can believe it, when the series began. And tried to gut it out and still race our opening couple of rounds last year. Was unable to finish this one in 2009. Rounded his way into shape, did get a race win, and eventually earned that number 4 plate. But he's back with a vengeance this year and leading. But for how long? Bithell has moved up to 2nd. Look at the way these guys are pushing on lap 1. Cook and Ackerman here are going to have to push even harder to keep those leaders in sight. It's so much easier to race when you can see the riders in front of you. And look at this. Bithell is all the way up to the lead. This guy was like last when they headed into the woods. And now just a few miles later, he's in the number 1 spot and already trying to get away from Balance, Kaiser, Boric, Pickens, Ackerman, Cook, and the rest of the field. What did they put in his gas tank today? Stay with us here in Georgia. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. Well, similar equipment, but a different person. A week ago, we were racing in Florida, and it was Adam McGill on the Warner Can-Am leading the early laps. Today, it's his teammate Chris Bithell. Haven't even seen McGill so far. Expect to see him make a run through the back. Man, is this course rough, and some of these guys already dragging the skid plates on the ruts. Now, that was a problem last year here for Bithell. He was running like this, was up front most of the day, and then eventually got himself hung up. So you've got to pay attention to the changing lines, all these different ways to crisscross through the trees. You might not be able to stick with one of them all day long. Also, you got to wonder about the fitness of these riders. It is still early in the season, and that's what's tough about cross-country racing. You can go out and ride and train and practice in the woods, but the only way to really press hard for 2 hours is to race. So early in the race season, you never know who has the strategy and who has the fitness. It looks like everyone's going pretty fast right now, but still, we'll see if Bithell can maintain that pace all the way through. It looks like Boric has moved to 2nd ahead of Balance. Pretty sure that's number 2 of Kaiser in the number 4 position. All these riders just trying to keep themselves in touch with the leader. They'll let Bithell run this pace in hopes that going that fast either makes him tired or leads to a mistake. And that's a dangerous game to play. The way he was rolling on lap 1, he could just pull away and just win this one in a romp. Here's Cook, formerly a privateer out of North Carolina. He still does, of course, live in North Carolina, but now he's got the factory ride with KTM. Expected to take a little while to adjust to that machine, but he is running with the leaders right now. In fact, Kaiser there in the number 2 has lost a spot to Cook, so Cook has caught these riders and passed them. Now Balance has gone backwards as well. So all sorts of changes at the front of the pack, and it's the Pennsylvania kids, Bithell pulling into the pits, and Boric as well, running 1 and 2, with the Yamahas and the KTM chasing them down. Looks like everyone pitting on this lap, so Bithell's going to go in and out. And just maintain the lead over Boric. And then Cook in 3rd. Kaiser pulling out in a little confusion here for Balance. We'll be right back, but first it's time for the Rocky Mountain Spotlight.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne Chatter, and I race the women's novice class and I'm currently leading the GNCC series. I'm from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, and would like to talk to you about my Tusk heel guards and Nerf bars today. The Tusk foot pegs that I have on my quad come with heel guards and retail for $109.99. They are the ultimate Nerf bar for the serious racer. The 1 3/8 inch alloy tubes are Healy arc welded at the joints and then brushed to a high luster. The extra wide stainless steel foot peg with a kick-up design provides maximum traction and durability. The beefy heel guards are much stronger and better looking than the stock plastic units that came stock on my 450, and it also includes black webbing that was easy to install. That was this week's Rocky Mountain Spotlight. For more information, please visit RockyMountainATVMC.com.
Hey, well done, Cheyenne. Not just with the audio clip, but also leading that women's novice class in the morning race. We'll have more coverage of that a little bit later in the show. But right now, back to our afternoon event with Bithell still leading Boric, and we got Cook, Kaiser, and Balance all trying to chase them down. But it is dangerous when you let Bithell and Boric hook up. These two ride and train together a lot in Pennsylvania, and there have been many times where they have been a two-car train and just yanked everybody else. But it looks like Cook and Kaiser are keeping them honest, as is Balance on the number 4. Still hard to get used to that. Hey, look what we found. Adam McGill was 8th on lap 1 and has now climbed up to the number 6 spot. And look at how hard he is pushing. That's the difference. He cannot see that lead train. He needs to push himself, and it's hard to find a good line to do that. Look at this battle. Every which way through these woods here in Georgia. And that's what makes this track so much fun to race on. You can make passes, but you've also got to be smart about it. Again, if you don't change your lines, even while leading, you might get hung up. But so far, so good this year for Bithell and Boric. Cook, Kaiser, and Balance. No big change there. What a run for Chris Bithell, who has been snakebit by some bad luck the last couple of years. But it is clear that this Warner Can-Am team came to play this year. It's like an instant replay of our race in Florida, where McGill was leading Boric. Now it's Bithell leading Boric. So he's been chasing those Can-Ams this season. And don't count out the Yamahas or the KTM. So great to see so many different manufacturers with a shot at this one. And who's playing the strategy game? If you're Bithell, do you want to deal with this pressure of this pack behind you all day long? Or did he maybe show his hand a little bit too early? Here we go, Boric all over him now. They're bumping wheels as they come through pit road. And they got crews cheering them on. Hey, you want to make passes in that section. Oh, Cook has to stop for fuel. He's going to drop for the lead pack. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. Folks, it is amazing how quickly things can change in cross-country racing. Taylor Kaiser, who was 4th, there he is now your leader here in Georgia. And Bill Balance, who was 5th, is now in 2nd. The riders battling for 1st and 2nd, Chris Bithell and Chris Boric have gone backwards. Bithell tagged a tree. Boric got hung up with him. Brian Cook is up to 3rd. There's Boric in 4th. We've got to go back a little ways to find Bithell, who is in 5th. So right now falling into the hands of the Yamaha boys. There's Kaiser on the number 2. And then we'll see Balance on number 4. And Balance has taken on the role of player coach a bit. He has taken Kaiser under his wing. And it's working out for sure right now. There's Boric putting pressure on Cook to get to 3rd. He might lose the point lead today if Kaiser comes out on top. And there's Bithell, our early race leader. Tagged the tree, lost a lot of time on that lucky number 13. And look, his teammate McGill is right behind him. So the Can-Ams are going to have to put in some work to catch back up. They've definitely had great speed today, but that one big mistake for Bithell might cost him the win. Look at Kaiser putting the hammer down out front, and Balance doing his best to protect the position. If Kaiser wins and Balance finishes 2nd, Balance will probably be nearly as happy as if he had just won himself. Nearly as happy. Boric up to 3rd. Look out, he's the champ. He can catch you from anywhere. He's displaced Cook, who's back in 4th. And then you're going to see Bithell and McGill come through next. Can they catch back up? We'll find out in a moment. But now we've got to go to highlights from the morning race. As promised, here we go. 4x4 open. Brian Buchanan going to grab the whole shot here. The morning race, we have 4x4 women, super senior, and novice racers. Makes it really fun to watch. Here's Kristen Atwell grabbing the whole shot in that ultra competitive women's class. And now back to you two. Utility Unlimited. Jeremy Dudding getting the whole shot. Got to deal with Cliff Beasley, Robert Smith, Mike Benson. Lots of fast guys in that group. 4x4 open, you had Buchanan out front early, and Rick Checo, who won this title a few years ago, trying to chase him down. Zach Sikowski and Darryl Rath also doing a great job. Here's the women's riders. I can barely keep up with who is who. That's your top 5 right there, glued to each other about halfway through this one. How fun is it to watch here, this 4x4 open battle? 850cc is the limit on displacement, so it is an open class. Anything bigger than that just isn't even effective out here in the woods. Look at this battle in the women's division. Get out of the way, guys. Now Rick Checo has taken the lead from Buchanan. They're just crisscrossing their way through the woods. Kristen Atwell holding on out front in the women's division. Don't forget our novice classes out here for the weekend warriors and the newcomers. It's a class for everyone out here. But the class of the field today, the women's division, Angel Atwell is going to take the win over Kristen Atwell, her niece, and Tracy Checo joins them on the podium. And also congrats out to Rick Checo, who won the 4x4 open class over Buchanan. That was a great race. So now one great race remains, and that is this afternoon Pro ATV battle. You got Kaiser and Balance on the Yamahas trying to hold off Chris Borich and Brian Cook. And then the charging duo on the Can-Am. Look at them hanging it out. Chris Bithell and Adam McGill. They got some laps led this year, but they want to have the last lap led. That's what matters. And the man in position to do it at the moment is this guy, Taylor Kaiser, out of Florida, factory Yamaha. There's a long way to go. So you got Balance back here in second, and Borich has caught him. So a classic Killer Bees Balance Borich battle with Kaiser in front of them. Any of these riders can take the win. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. Taylor Kaiser just trying to run and hide here in the last lap. Jason Wygate, your host of Racer TV. Bill Balance second, Chris Borich third. They come through that quickly. Then it is Bithell and McGill following each other through. They have really pushed the pace, but some mistakes by those two early in the race for McGill, late in the race for Bithell, have pretty much made it a 3-horse race. Kaiser, Borich, and Balance. One of these 3 is going to take it today in Georgia. Nice lead for Kaiser, but oh, look at Balance and Borich duking it out. I thought we had maybe seen the last of the Killer Bees battling it out. So good to see Balance come back to racing this year. We thought he might retire. And while they do get out, Kaiser just gets further away. Uh-oh, Borich has made the pass off Balance and then dusts his old rival for good measure. Now Borich has pulled out some unbelievable last lap charges and then passes for the win. But I don't know if he's ever had a deficit this much, and look how fast Kaiser is going in the lead. Borich has got that hammer down on that Yoshimura Suzuki, but I don't know if there's time for him to track down Kaiser. We might have a tie for the point lead by the time this one is over. Oh, and McGill has made the pass on his teammate Bithell. They're going to battle right down to the end. They might bump wheels going into the transporter at the end of the day. Look at Borich pushing it. Balance trying his best to keep it close. Balance does not want to see Borich finish in front. He wants a Yamaha 1-2. And don't forget Cook, who's put in a great run today as well. And he is still holding the yellow and black attack at bay. Man, these guys are all on the gas. Listen to Kaiser just winding out that 450 Yamaha. And he better This is Borich's domain. The last lap, that's where he usually saves his best stuff. And he's showing it right now as they've opened it up just a little bit over balance. And you can hear our GNCC radio transmission there of Buren Hamrick, our lieutenant trail boss, radioing it in. 2-1-4. Duking it out here in the last lap. Balance actually closing the gap back. On Borich, though, don't count the old champ out. And now McGill has gotten by both Cook and Bithell, so he's up to 4th. There's Bithell in 5th. And the nice guy out of North Carolina, Cook, is going to go back to 6th. Time running out. Crowd cheering. Taylor Kaiser, it looks like he's going to do it. Not much more ground left. And this time the Chris Boyd's charge runs out. Taylor Kaiser wins the Maxis General GNCC. Borich will take 2nd. And the 9-time GNCC champ, nice run, Bill Balance in 3rd. Let's go down to Krista Shaw.
All right, Taylor, so you weren't able to get the win last weekend, but you pulled it off here today. Tell us a little bit about how the race went.
Well, I got a top 3 start and was just kind of running there. The track was really good, conditions were good, and there was 4 or 5 of us that had broken away there, and we were mixing it up pretty good. And after we pitted, I was running in 4th, and Bithell had a little accident and caught a tree, and I got around everybody, and it was pretty much the end of the day. I just kind of put my head down and charged as hard as I could, and we were able to come out on top.
All right, good job.
Thank you.
Here are the results. McGill and Bithell put 2 Can-Ams in the top 5. Cook fought them down to the wire for 6th. And let's go to the Yamaha race recap. And it was all Yamahas up front. Great start for Don Ackerman. And you had Bill Balance right behind him. Then Balance slips into the number 1 spot like it was the old days, getting into the early lead and pulling away a bit. But not easy to do on this track, especially with the charging Chris Bithell and Chris Borich going into 1st and 2nd. Kaiser and Balance kept the heat on them. You also had Adam McGill and Brian Cook in the hunt. It looked like Bithell was the fastest man on the track until he caught a tree, and that allowed Kaiser to slip into the number 1 position. And from there, he rode error-free. Very impressive considering how fast he was going. Balance would battle with Borich down the stretch for 2nd. Borich got around him for that number 2 spot, but he just couldn't make up enough ground on Kaiser, who will now be tied for the points lead after taking this big victory. What a great season we're in store for. Thanks for watching here on Racer TV.